Are you speaking life into your kids? Let's talk about it. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's so good to have you. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Today, I just kind of want to get into something quick because I know that this is something that came along my feed and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to tell somebody on YouTube because somebody needs to see this today. So I'm just going to share a picture with you guys. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. Galatians 6:7. A soft answer turns away from wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So go ahead and look at this picture. If you can see up at the top, the mother is yelling at the baby when the baby is really, really young, like infant size, right? So she's screaming at the baby. Then the next picture down, she's getting older, right? And then the kid's also getting older, but now the kid's becoming sort of rebellious and yelling back at the mother. And then on the third picture down, the mother is now an old lady and the little girl is now like maybe in her teens and she's screaming at the mother, and the mother now looks like the baby did in the first picture. So just take a second to look at this. How does this picture make you guys feel? Are you speaking life into your kids? However you treat your kids from when they're very, very young, let me tell you, they're going to grow up to be the same way. The first 1 to 5 years, kids are so impressionable. They're like little sponges. They learn everything. They remember things. They will hold that into them. So whatever you instill into them when they're really young, they're going to grow up with those learned behaviors. I know from personal experience, like I have this issue with my daughter all the time where if I have no patience with her on certain days, like I definitely will raise my voice, but I'm getting better at slowing down. And like, even if I do raise my voice, I'm like, mommy, sorry, but this is da 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 da, like this is the reason I'm yelling. We just need to remember that yelling at these kids, right? Obviously they need to get yelled at sometimes, but for the majority of the times, like the longer that we have this rage inside of us and the louder that we get, the more they drown us out. If they see us dealing with our anger like this, they're also going to deal with their anger like this. And I talk a little bit about this in my other video, Feeding the Spirit of Anger. I'll go ahead and put the link up here on the top so you guys can click on that if you want to watch it. But exactly what I'm saying is like, however you speak into these kids, they're going to express their anger the same way. So there's been times, prime example, when Mayana is just cutting up and I'm like about to lose it on her. I'm like up to here, about to blow up. And I take a couple breaths and I get down on her level and I'm speaking softly to where like she can't hear me if I'm speaking so quietly that she has to get quiet so she can hear me. So I'm telling her, I'm like, this is the way we're going to do things. You need to tell me how you feel. So if you're angry, you need to say, mommy, I'm angry. If you're upset, you need to, mommy, I'm upset. Or if you're sad, mommy, I'm sad. Don't say, well, I'm not going to be your friend, or whatever she tries to go about saying. And this is just basically to show her, like, this is how you explain your feelings. You don't suppress those feelings and then push off anger because you're feeling a certain type of way. I wanted to go ahead and share some scriptures with you guys. First is Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way that she or he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Ephesians 4:31. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. Ephesians 4:32. And be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving to one another, even as God for Christ's sakes has forgiven you. Colossians 4:6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, and that you may know that how you ought to answer every man. Ephesians 6:1-3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with you and you may live long on the earth. And Proverbs 15:23. A man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good it is. A soft answer turns away from wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So however you come off towards your kids, they're going to end up growing into that, and that's how they're going to think they need to deal with their anger. Long story short, I just wanted to throw this gentle reminder out there that when I seen this on my feed, I was like, somebody else needs to see this because somebody is having a really hard day with their kids, and I've been there so many days as a single parent. Especially, it's hard. I have no reinforcement. I have nobody to sit there and be like, you need to give mom a break. I'm constantly the bad guy. And so I have no split like responsibilities. So it's just constantly me barking, yelling. And I found that she just drowns me out. The more that I yell, the more she drowns me out. But the more calm and understanding I am with her, the more that she understands. This is so much easier said than done, especially like if you're having a really hard day. For the most part, whoever needed to see this, I hope that this is like a reminder, even if you don't have kids, you one day might have kids, or even if you have nieces and nephews, cousins, whatever, kids in your life, this is just a gentle reminder to just be patient with them and try to tone it down some. them, especially on those really trying and hard days. Even if you're by yourself as a single parent, even if you have your spouse in your life and you guys are parenting together, just remember this picture right here. Whenever you're starting to have those days, just remember that your kids will reflect whatever they're taught from when they're really young. So anyways, I hope this has helped somebody today, especially if you're having a really hard day. Be sure to check out any of my other videos on my channel. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.